Good evening. Welcome to another week, interesting week with us at Black Wall Street. As always, we want to reach out and welcome you, Albany, Troy, Schenectady, Rensselaer. We have another dedicated week with some business owners, some models, and of course, we follow up with our show. My co-host Kayla with Mind on Matter. So we're going to start out first by reaching over to our guest on the right? And you know our routine. We ask you to drop your card into our jar, right?
Okay, okay.
So as we work from week to week, building our community base, our network, then we'll be able to support each other and help each other and have some type of visualization, right, in the community and be participatory, right, to the development of our community.
Okay, thank you, Ali. All right, so my name is Cindy Viel. I'm an electrician. The name of the company that I have is called Zeditude Electrical Services, LLC. And we're based right here out of Schenectady. And also we licensed in Schenectady, insured, and looking to help the community and put in some bids and win some projects.
Okay, all right. Lot of construction going on, a lot of building going on.
A lot.
Right.
Ever since the casino came in Schenectady, is changing.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
down here, downtown Albany, has a lot of construction going on as well.
A lot going on, and we definitely want to support our sisters, right, in the construction trade, right?
Right, right.
All right. So let's introduce the guest to our left. You want to introduce yourself to our audience?
Yes. Hi, everybody. My name is Marika Stubbs. I am an entrepreneur. I'm a model. I'm a mom of one and a graduate from the University at Albany. I am originally from Albany, New York, and I've worked with so many different people in this area doing entertainment, media, as well as communications because I do consulting with organizations and individuals of all kinds and organizations of all sizes to improve their communication strategy. So thank you, Ali, for having me on this show with the Black Wall Street Legacy. I'm really excited to be here, especially when you told me about it, because this is different for you, and I'm really happy that this is your avenue now. I feel like this is something that really is cool and helpful to so many business owners. So yeah, thank you guys.
Great. Now we usually have our guests drop the business card, right, in our jar, but she's sophisticated and she has an electronic business card. So the digital business card.
I do.
So we're gonna have to upgrade and find a solution.
Yeah,
right,
you guys got to get a QR code for your people to scan. You can get it right here on the stand, and people can scan it from their phones onto from their TVs to their phones. It's really cool. But if you really are looking to get into my work, you can go to bit.ly, bit.ly/Marika Stubbs. And you'll see my name spelling right down there. So make sure you tune in, bit.ly/Marika Stubbs.
Okay, great. So let's get into what we do. We start out on a weekly basis, and what we do first is we talk about Black Wall Street. We talk about how it's instrumental and what our goal is. Our mission is to be involved in the community, to talk about certain issues, to try to keep our commitment each week to bring on one of the businesses, whether a new business or whether one of the older businesses in our community. But we want to make sure that we give the community a voice. And then we have the last segment, like I mentioned, where we pick someone in the community and we just talk about what's going on, keeping it real, right? Like Joan Rivers used to say, can we talk, right? So at this particular point, I think what we want to do is we want to see first from you, Marika, what you got in the works, what you got on the table, what you doing. I know you do a lot in the community too.
Oh, you so nosy. Seriously, right now I'm working with Collective Effort. They are a media production company based in Troy, New York, that was formerly a co-working space that also provided media services, and now they are expanding to have a production studio, a small studio in Troy called the Kickback Studios, and moving their office to a new space so that they can work with individuals better and provide more spaces for creatives to thrive. So I'm really excited to do communications with them as a consultant and hopefully grow within my time there. And I'm also working with different individuals in this area to put together events for models and specifically people in the content creator, influencer, and fashion world, because there isn't enough space in this area for those people to connect with each other and as well as train to improve their skill sets and potentially build themselves as a creator. I know me as a micro influencer, technically, because I don't even have like 10,000 followers on any of my platforms, I'm able to monetize my platforms and my brand in order to get deals and to be paid as an influencer, and sharing those strategies with others is something I'm willing to do, and working with others to provide those spaces for people as well. So that's number one. I'm really excited to go down to New York City because I'm really looking at building more connections outside of this area as well. I do like working with people in Albany, and I want to build with others and bring some of those connections back, as well as bring some people down there. I know we always say Albany is small Albany, and it is, but there's so many good people here and so many good things, and being able to build a bridge for those spaces and those for those people and bring those people into the same spaces is one of my ultimate goals as well. So shout out to the people that I've been working with. And last but not least, I'm going to be working with a pretty big brand out here to do communications and public relations strategy. So I'm really excited about that because she's a really awesome business owner. She's all about women empowerment, and her clothes are pretty freaking dope.
Okay,
So,
great. All right.
just a little bit.
Yeah, oh, really?
That's
Just a
a-
little bit. You got a lot going on.
That is a lot.
But okay,
That is a lot.
as a female contractor, how's the industry treating you? I mean, are you making some headway? How they receiving you?
Well, this is a man's world, and it truly is. I'm a little different because I started as an apprentice. I'm grateful for Local 236 that started a pilot program where they wanted to incorporate more minorities within the local, because as we know, the local union is mostly male, white male, and the amount of young brothers that come in, they don't stay.
Right.
They'll come in for maybe like 2, and either the workload, because this apprentice program, you work for a contractor as you every other week you attend school.
Right.
So that way you know what you're doing, because no one want to go out there and get electrocuted.
Right.
So what makes my company different is that I understand the workers as well, and I'm working on putting a new head as a contractor.
Right. That's good. And I'm quite sure, like in this particular area, in our area, Albany, that going into 2023, I think that a lot of things are going to open up for you, because a lot of the county legislators are now also involved in the discussion on what to do with a lot of the blighted properties. So there are funds being made available. So now you got to get on that MWBE list, right? So that you make sure that you're visible, right? And then of course the power, right? The power of Black Wall Street, the power of what you do, will open the door to help other people, right?
Well,
to come
Ali,
through and
I'm knocking on those doors. I'm knocking, and I'm hopeful, and I know that either I find a good mentor that would take me by the hands and be CJ, which is what they call me out in the field when I have my hard hat on.
Okay.
CJ, these are the steps you need to take. These are the people, the prime contractors that's willing to take you in and guide you through. Because at work, you hardly see a black female as an owner.
Right, right.
So we're trying to change that here in the capital city of Albany,
Right.
the Tri-City, Troy, you know, and see where it goes.
Right. Well, that's good. So maybe one day in the near future we can sit down and have a conversation about that, because when the assembly is in session, that's when they talk about the structure of the minority, the women's minority workforce, right? Those entrepreneurs opening up the door for the workforce. And that's when they rewrite those affirmative, because remember, it's affirmative action.
Affirmative action, correct.
Right, and if you don't see, or it doesn't reflect, the demographic, of our community, then that's what Black Wall Street does. You get on the phone and we come in and we have that discussion,
Okay.
because the community needs to be heard, and sometimes there's certain organizations or certain avenues that are just waiting for the opportunity to assist, right, and to bring some of the information that they have to the forefront. But I know we definitely got to keep you guys locked in. We got to keep you locked in. We got to keep you locked in, right? And see where you go and see how how 2023 unfolds. After COVID, things will never be the same. We're in a whole new, different era, it seems like.
Of course.
And that's why I enjoy our male guests, but I think I enjoy our female guests a little bit more. And here's why. Because you guys, even though you're out there working and you're doing just as much, in some cases more than us male, right? Because there's opportunities, but you're still at home with the children and you're in their head. You're in their space. This is where we need to go, And it's important because that's what it's all about, right? It's about creating space for our babies, for our children,
Definitely. Right now, the apprenticeship program that I know of, 236, and I'm working on creating my own apprenticeship program, which will make my company unique, is that I encourage young black females, Hispanic, just minority, to just give it a try. Because, the trade is leaving everybody, but once you could work your hands, and that would be a trade that you take everywhere you go, whether it's working on your own property, your own real estate property, or, helping other communities build.
Right, right. And that's true, because everyone either lives in a house, right, or they have some type of business, but there's always something to do, whether it's painting, if you know how to work with your hands, right?
Could never go wrong.
Right,
Never go
right.
wrong.
Never go wrong.
How's your modeling career going?
I think it's going really well. Personally, I would say so myself. Last year, I was able to walk in New York Fashion Week, specifically Spall Boutique Fashion Week, with Sherry of Elite Beauty Boutique. She is an awesome designer, and she gave me such an incredible opportunity that I'm so grateful for. And outside of, doing influencer and affiliate marketing is a form of modeling that you can do on your own, because you can self-shoot or you can work with a photographer, and that's what I like most about it. I do a lot of self-shooting as an influencer, a micro-influencer specifically, but I have been getting a lot of paid work, and that's the best thing. I've been getting contracted with different businesses to be an ambassador, or specifically just to be a part of their influencer campaign. So I'm really happy. You can definitely check out my Instagram at Delirium Law to see some of the stuff that I've been putting out there and some of the brands that I have been working with over the last year. I'm really excited because what I'm doing this year is I'm going to be going down to New York City for Fashion Week. And I don't have any guaranteed shows at the moment, but I am very, very, very determined to get into a show. I'm specifically casting for Runway 7 that will be in New York City, as well as Global Entertainment's fashion show that's happening during New York Fashion Week as well. I'm really excited. I've been practicing, and I hope I see some of my friends there too, some of my model friends.
Okay.
Recently, one of the most recent shoots I've done is I went to Massachusetts to work with Capadonna of the Wu-Tang Clan, and as a shout out to the Zoo Bosses member and Wu-Tang affiliate Bricks the Boss, also known as Larry. Thank you again for that opportunity. So it's definitely going well. 2023 has been an interesting year thus far, and every year has these like weird roller coasters. They always go like this, right? It's always like this. But that's the best part. You always find something from it. So I'm excited for the rest of the year.
That's good because it seems like the modeling industry is definitely picking up, right?
I think it's less about modeling and it's more about people's ability to create a career for themselves through the internet. Like, I think that's part of it. Like, me as a model, I started off working on doing shows, and I didn't take my Instagram as serious as I should have until maybe after the pandemic. Like, a lot of people decided to do with their own online profiles. You see people making all sorts of content, whether it's X-rated or PG, and they really took control of their online brand and image. So as a model now, it's very easy to work with photographers, upcoming designers, and build yourself. So people are starting to see that, and they're also able to see how easy it is to monetize yourself as an influencer and a model. And again, like in my case, you don't need 10,000, 5,000, or even 2,000 followers to do that on the internet, as long as you are able to create and be engaging. So that's one of the things I'm noticing about modeling as well. And a lot of people want to model. A lot of people want to be that confident girl in front of the camera, and anybody can do it. It does not take any amount of education. It does not take any amount of training. But there is so many different forms of professional training and different seminars you can take, which is some of the things I'm working on to help build yourself, improve your portfolio, and grow as a model in the fashion industry. What I would like to see more is designers, because that does take training.
It does.
You know, that does take training and skill, and a little bit of talent, a whole lot of skill. So even if you don't have a knack for it, you can learn. And I think we do need more young Black designers, more designers of color in general. I would love to work with more Asian, more Arabic designers, more Indian designers, more indigenous designers. I would really love to see more of those designers and having more diverse casts on their runways or campaigns.
Okay. So now let me ask you, because successful, right? Marketeer, right? Successful model, right? We gotta give a shout out as always to Threads magazine, right?
Shout out to Mark. I was definitely a branded model.
518.
Definitely a branded model.
Did major things in the industry, and he's still doing major things in the industry, right?
Especially
one
out
of our leading
here.
area magazines, right? 518 Threads. But you guys also are moms, right?
I am.
So our community conversation is, hey, what's going on? Are we winning? Are we still in this? What do we see? I mean, you wanna start by talking about it?
About the success that my daughters are having.
Well, that is a part of, right. That's a part of community, so it's definitely something to be proud about.
Oh, definitely,
Right.
definitely. I have two beautiful daughters, 121 that attends SUNY Schenectady College, where she's going into business. She's also one of my apprentices when we have projects. The latest project she was working with me on is a summer house up by Johnville. So she was one of my apprentices there. So I'm also teaching her the trade. So she works with her hands. She's working on her own brand right now, which is called To the Moon. And whatever support she needs, I'm there for her. making
Okay.
sure she bills it right, have the right EIN number, have it published, so that way when she's ready to expand, the sky's the limit for her.
Right. Be right.
My
there.
youngest daughter, Sanaya Jofield, she broke the record at her high school for diving, and
Wow.
yeah, she's
Okay.
one of a kind. And right now, she's attending St. Bonaventure University, which is a D1 school, where she dives for that college. And I'm keeping my faith up, my hope up that she finish off her diving season well, and we'll wait to see how everything goes with her.
And we need some of those skills. Like they say, it takes a village,
It
right?
takes a village.
It takes a village to
It takes a
raise a
village.
child. So we need to get a lot more communication going, right?
Yeah.
At what point, right? At what point, as a business owner and a mom, if a business is in trouble, if our family unit is in trouble, at what point do we reach out for help or make it a conversation to say, hey, these are some things that we need to focus on? At what point? Because your little one is still little, right?
Yeah.
Feeny, right?
Mine is still small.
Right.
How old?
At what point?
4.
4 years old, yeah.
Yes.
At what point do we look, for intervention? Because remember, while we're living in the community and we see other children, right? Remember, a lot of them do respect us, but a lot of them do sometimes need us to be participatory, to be helpful in the system, right? So at what point do you think? What point do you think?
We gotta always remember that our biggest assets are our kids, our children, the one that we actually created. So we just have to just be on point, and just like with everything going on with mental issues, and you just gotta be more aware, of the kind of peer pressure that they're facing now with cyberbullying and everything. Just always being aware and always have an open conversation to just monitor what is the point that you need to redirect your focus from business and turn it into your family, because your children are your biggest assets.
Right. And I think right now at this particular point, well, definitely at this table, you might be the youngest one. Right?
Yeah.
I'm young too, but you might be the youngest one.
Technically.
What are you seeing right now in your generation? I mean, is it some things that we as a community, or older community, should be communicating or opening up and having dialogue with you about something? Meaning with your generation. Not necessarily something is wrong, but are there some things that we need to focus on just to communicate with,
Yeah, sometimes I look back and I'm like, wow, we're the new adults.
That's
like,
right.
wow, we're the new adults.
Right. So
That's the thing. So I do think people my age need some real talk sometimes. Like, it doesn't always have to be this super blunt, nasty, mean thing. You can sit down with your family now and tell them that they were wrong. You can have those serious conversations with your friends. And if you can't, let it go. I think a lot of time our OGs can't accept when they did something wrong to us. And when we try to have that conversation, they make it very, very difficult. And us as a community need to learn to have the tough conversations and build from there, instead of going into these angry moments or turn into violence or turn into isolation from our family and friends, which isn't always easy said and done, but we are all human. And at the end of the day, us as Black people, we deal with so much because we deal with extra human stuff, extra human problems, because we're Black. And we have to really learn to rely on each other before we can turn outward. But at the same time, once we do turn outward, we have to remember that we have each other. And our people and the people our age need that, because we go out there and then we feel like we have nothing, and then we deal with all of the problems that come with it. And that's when we have mental health issues, and that's when we see young black men killing each other because black men deserve to grow old. We do need to have those conversations and actually make the changes that our children are asking for.
Right.
Yeah.
And we got to remember too. We just came out of COVID, so a lot of people still are facing evictions. A lot of people are still facing homelessness, right? I mean, I think the city is doing a pretty good job with our homeless, population. I think as a community we're doing a good job. We could always do better, right? There's some key areas that I think we need to focus on, and we're gonna have you back, and maybe we'll go into some of those areas, like for example, the lunches for the children in the morning. That was always big when we were growing up, making sure we had good, solid lunches. And then with the prices going up, so high, I know that there's a lot of gaps, a lot of holes in the middle that we need to focus on as a community, right? So listen, I'm so appreciative that you guys came out, right? Tell our audience how you can be reached, because of course we want to use some of your services and see your
Okay.
skills in action.
All right, all right. Well, you could always send out an email to Zeditude, and that's Zeditude Electrical Services at gmail.com, or you could reach me by just calling up. The Union Local 236, they have my contact, and they'll know how to get in contact with CJ.
Okay,
Thank you.
great. How do you
Thank you,
spell
Abby.
Zeditu?
That's ZEWDITU, Electrical Services with an
Okay.
S. Yes.
Okay. And you want to share with our audience how they can contact you?
Absolutely. You guys can definitely go to bit.ly/Marika Stubbs. That's bit.ly/MARYIKASTUBBS. That is my digital business card, sponsored by 10K Cards. Shout out to that black-owned business as
Okay.
well. And I also have a scannable QR code on that business card, but you can also see all of my things, the discount codes that I provide to my friends that come look on my pages, as well as my portfolio, which is olocway.org. That's OLOCWAY.org. That's my website. Check out Overlooked Outstanding Concepts, because that's another thing coming to you guys soon.
Okay, we look forward to having you back.
Thank you.
Again, Albany, Troy, Schenectady, Rensselaer, we appreciate you for joining us and allowing us to come into the comfort of your home and talk about community and some of the ideas and the things that may very well be important to you as well as us.
Okay.
And we look forward to having a more robust conversation down in the near future. We want to welcome you back, and we want to welcome you back, right? We look forward to you coming back.
Well, I'm
Good night.
looking forward to coming back and sharing some successful stories.
We off already.
Yes.
Zero.
That's zero.
Yeah.